Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Chris Brown in the kitchen making an incredible meal. From filet of beef with crispy prosciutto served with caramelized beets along with Béarnaise'd Orzo and charred young carrots. You won't want to miss it. We are cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. So grab a seat, relax, we've got another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I am your host, Kirk Leins. In our kitchen today is Chef Chris Brown. How are you,
Kirk,
Chris?
how you doing? How you doing?
Great.
Great.
Now, you are the executive chef over at Hey 19.
That is correct, yes.
Now, I have a little personal history with Hey 19 as we did another show there, Taste of Torrance.
Okay.
Love it.
Awesome.
Absolutely love it. And you're also over at another one of Demi's restaurants.
Ortega 120, yes. I'm also the executive chef there as well.
So what's the matter? You just didn't feel like you were busy enough?
Oh, you know what's so funny? I just had a kid. Well, not just had. He's almost a year old, so you throw that in there, and I'm probably one of the busiest people you'll ever meet.
Man, oh, man. Well, you have brought with you a delightful menu, and I got to tell you, I love beef, and you know what? I haven't had a filet in a while.
Oh, who doesn't love beef? I love beef. I love beef, yes.
So we're actually going to start with our filet. Why don't you run us through what we're going to need in terms of we've got our filet here, we've got some seasoning, and then we're just going to start with a sear.
Awesome. So let me go ahead and turn this up first. I'm going to go ahead and get
it.
my pan hot. You want to have a really nice hot pan whenever you're cooking any kind of beef. Look at the marbling on this. Beautiful.
Yeah, and that hot pan is important because otherwise it's going to be gray.
You don't want a gray meat.
No,
you don't want gray meat. No,
you
gray
want it
meat
brown.
isn't fun. The best part about a good steak is that crispy top, and then you slice it open, that rare, medium rare.
I'm fanatic about it.
Yes.
I even go as far as I'll sit there and dry that steak and let you know what I mean.
Yes.
I want no moisture on
Okay,
it.
we need to eat more often together. Okay, so one thing too I want to really focus on is a good piece of meat is already beautiful. You don't need to overdo it.
Agreed.
Salt and pepper, thyme, that's it.
Done.
And you just make magic. So
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and season it right now. Always season high. Just going to go ahead and season
That's
it
for
with
the
a little salt.
coverage.
Yep.
So you don't get a clump of salt in one spot.
Exactly. We'll go ahead and flip it over, get the sides.
Which is important. You got to eat the sides too.
You got to eat the sides. You can't just season the top.
Right. Or yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Is that 8 to 10 ounces somewhere?
But between 8 to 10 ounces, yeah. We're going to say 10.
Okay.
Feels a little heavy. I'm going to go with my pepper. And what's funny about seasoning high is people always say, why do you put so much? Well, it's really not that much.
Nope.
It's just the technique. And I learned this from a French chef, Josiah Citron. He always went, season higher, raise your hand higher. So,
Right.
all right, so I got that going. So I just want to make sure my pan is really, really hot.
Beautiful.
I feel like it is. So I'm actually going to spin a little oil in here.
And what kind of oil are you using?
This is just extra virgin olive oil with the canola blend.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Is that just to kind of like increase the smoke point on it?
Yes, because olive oil does have a really high smoke point. So
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because it's like I think most people think of like a steak being done on a barbecue. I will take a steak in a pan over a steak on a barbecue any day of the week.
I agree. I feel the same way.
Because you get that such a nice char, and I'm going to do a little foreshadowing here.
Okay.
He's going to show us another technique in a little bit that y'all are going to love because it's really the French way to make a steak.
Absolutely.
So
okay.
I'll just leave it.
So as you can see, it's smoking.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not too hot. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt the pan forward, and you can hear it.
Now, at this point here, one has a lot of options on how they could cook this steak. They could sear it on one side, flip it over, and finish it in the oven.
That is correct.
Or we could just kind of like allow it to go in the pan. What are we doing today?
So right now we're just going to do fully in the pan.
Okay.
The reason why I say fully in pan, I love that sound. I love the smell. It's just classic French to just cook and watch your meat and just be with it for the whole journey, because this is essentially a journey. We're cooking this beautiful piece of meat. And
just keep talking. That's beautiful.
So we're gonna do it in the pan the whole time. So
okay.
I'm searing it right now. And then the one thing too, I'm just gonna let it go. I don't want to keep flipping it around. Just let it be.
It's like, yeah, let it do its thing.
Yes.
And while that's going, I know you've got a sauce that you're gonna prepare for us.
Yeah.
correct?
So we're just gonna do a little simple red wine sauce. Really easy to do at home. If you do have wine in your home, I know I have wine in my home. So
yes.
Just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. So we're also gonna get this hot as well. Not as hot as for the meat. We don't want to burn our aromatics.
Right.
So we're just gonna put a little olive oil in here as well.
And by aromatics today, you are using
Shallots and garlic. Yes,
okay.
yes. This is like just the base of just, we say aromatics is shallots and garlic.
Yeah, what doesn't that go in,
yes.
right?
So I have a light sizzle, and that's kind of what I want, and that's perfect. You know, just
because that garlic burns fast. I mean, it's
burns really, really fast, and you got to be careful. Burnt garlic is
awful.
Probably it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and it just it doesn't. It shows that you don't care if you're burning
And
garlic.
the Italian chefs, what they'll do is they will start that in a cold pan with cold olive oil and let it come up. That way, they're not like even taking a chance.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You can see the sizzle, and then boom, it's done. We can smell it, and we got it. We're good.
I don't know if you can smell it, but it smells beautiful.
Yeah, actually, it just wafted. I got it. Oh, yeah.
We should make some kind of men's cologne, garlic and shallots.
Keep away vampires and attract foodies.
Okay, so it's already, we get a nice color on there. It's light golden brown, that's what we want.
Okay.
We want to get it a little darker, and I'm just going to add the red wine and let that reduce. Okay, I'm going to check on my steak.
And red wine, we're just using something dry and drinkable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Cabernet, or look at that.
Almost. That's not where I want it, but we're close.
But
a little
it's
more.
looking good and it's even.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my red wine now.
Please do. Yeah, and just something dry and drinkable. Just
exactly.
Not, you know, I mean, you don't have to like break the bank here, but at the same time, too, don't really like cheap out.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Okay. And by reducing it, we're cooking off that alcohol taste.
Yes, that is correct. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so this is just smelling amazing. I'm going to go ahead and flip it.
You do that.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, that crispy just...
And it's even. It's
yes.
even. There's no black spots on it. It's a nice, thick, and that's what's going to give it that textural contrast.
Absolutely.
So while that's searing on the other side, and we've got this reducing, talk to me about... You're going to be doing an orzo dish in the next segment.
Yes.
And part of that is a Bearnaise sauce.
Yes.
So talk to me about Bearnaise.
Bearnaise sauce is just, when I think of a really good piece of meat in a sauce, it's either red wine or Bearnaise. That's why I chose both. That was my choice. But
Gotcha.
Bearnaise is just classic, just doesn't get any better of a good piece of meat. So what you want to do is normally the best way to start a Bearnaise sauce is you want to get a pot like this, some water. Mm-hmm. You're going to put a metal bowl on top.
Double boiler.
Double boiler, okay? Turn it on. You're going to add your egg yolks. You can use just cubed cold butter or clarified butter. And clarified butter is just melting butter and scraping the fat off. So it's very clear. You can drop a penny in there and be able to read the date.
Right.
And it's just a slow whisking process. It's very time consuming. You don't want to rush it. It will break.
Yes.
And you don't want to waste eggs, and you don't ever want to waste any ingredients.
And by breaking a sauce, it means that it's separating.
Yes,
the fats
and
in the
that is
solids.
too much heat, too much fat, and little movement.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what that means. So it's a very time-consuming sauce.
And also, too, I've noticed that for me, any time that I've ever messed up a sauce like that, it's been because it's been too hot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and people think of their food needing to be always hot and, you know, this is a sauce that's really served, like, slightly warm.
Exactly, room temp. Every Bearnaise I've had was room temp.
Right.
And it's going with the hot steak, so, you know, it's
right.
good. The textures and levels of temperatures, that's food.
Yeah.
So, tomato paste and tarragon, we're going to go ahead
and add that now?
Yeah.
Let me have
Just
that.
1 second. I'm just going to go ahead and...
Okay, we'll get you ready here.
Yep, so I'm just going to sear the
chop
sides.
some tarragon, Chef?
Yeah, can you please?
That'll
help me.
You know, I feel useful. I mean, you brought all this good food, and let me get this stem out, though.
While you're doing that, I'm just searing the sides.
Right. You know, another thing that a lot of people won't do is sear those sides up. But it's like, you can't have, like, too much caramelization on a steak.
No, you can't. You can't. Maillard reaction is a beautiful thing.
Chef, do you need more than, like, maybe a teaspoon? Or
I think that's actually perfect.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's actually perfect.
Great.
So I'll go ahead and you want me to bring this over to you?
Yeah, I'll just get that in there for you. It smells so good, like a slight anise quality to it.
Yes, yes.
But really something all its own. There you go, you're good.
Perfect, thank you, okay.
Something all its own.
Perfect, so then I'm going to go ahead and just put maybe a teaspoon of tomato paste in there.
Now this is something I got to tell you I've never seen. I've never seen adding the tomato paste like that. I mean, it's just like...
when you taste it, you'll see tomato paste is very bitter. It's really, really strong, but if it's used properly,
and you just use like a scant teaspoon.
Just a little bit, yes.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and grab a spatula, I believe.
Got it.
And just go ahead and mix that around. And I have my Bearnaise on low heat, obviously, because we just talked about breaking the sauce.
Great.
You'll see what the tomato paste does to the color. It doesn't change it too much.
No.
I know most people would think, oh, it's going to be brown or look like, ketchup and mustard mix. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Okay.
Utilizing it correctly is just kind of the goal.
That's a beautiful looking sauce. The consistency is awesome.
Oh, it smells amazing. It's just,
And now we've got our wine reducing. Is that reduced enough to where you can add the beef stock? Or
yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, you're right on point. That's my next. I was just going to say, let's add that beef stock in there.
And I can tell by looking at that beef stock that you made that beef stock. That did
Yes.
not come out of a box. However, if someone wanted to, they could very easily utilize
Any store-bought beef stock is perfect.
but
yeah.
stick to low sodium.
Stick to low sodium, yes.
Because
yes.
otherwise that reduces, it gets like just way too salty.
Well, also, too, you want to stick to low sodium, too, because we are in control of our own seasoning today as far as the Béarnaise, the
Correct.
steaks. So
Everything's unsalted until we salt it.
exactly. Okay, so this is perfect right here. So
Okay.
I think it's time to go ahead and...
You need the butter?
yes, I
the
do.
The beurre.
Yes, the beurre.
So this technique, this is a very French technique, and he is going to be basically basting this steak.
And what you want to do is... I'm sorry, I'm going to turn my
No,
fire
please.
down. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Basting this steak in butter and herbs. And your herb today is thyme, but you
Thyme.
can easily substitute this with rosemary.
Yes. Rosemary and thyme, I think, are kind of your best friends when it comes to beef.
Maybe even a whole clove of garlic. Sometimes you see people put that in there
Yes.
too.
So I turned my fire way down. Steak's where I want it to be.
And here we go.
And like you said, it is French, and we know the French love fat.
You don't make any apologies to me. I love butter. And that's just going to instantly melt and pick up those juices from the bottom of the pan, and then they're just going to be recycled over the top of that steak. And I'm sure you've seen this technique on TV shows or videos, but here it's actually explained to you. He's just constantly basting.
And you see how I'm kind of incorporating the herbs too. I'm bringing them down towards the end.
And look what it does to that steak and how it just makes it glossy.
You gotta come
and
smell
gives it
this.
that sheen. Oh, I know. Oh my God. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
I love it.
I actually went light on the butter.
I'm sure. I've seen this in French
Oh,
restaurants.
sometimes I could easily throw a pound of butter.
I was
going
going to say, like, half a pound of
Yeah.
butter.
Okay.
And how much do you baste it?
You know what? There is really no exact amount. It's almost like a feel. I know that sounds weird. I can feel when it's there. And
Okay.
I just...
Well, you know what? I think we're at a really good point here because we've got our Bearnaise sauce done. We've got our sauce reducing over here. That's done. We can let it rest. What do you say we take a break, get cleaned up, and on the other side we will make our orzo and our veggies.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Alexa, how do you tell if asparagus is still good?
If it's not moldy or slimy, it's okay to eat.
Enable the new skill from Save the Food on your Amazon Alexa and help fight food waste.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I am in the kitchen today with Chef Chris Brown from Hey 19 here in Torrance, California. And look, I mean, come on now. Our steak is out of the pan.
Yes, look at
resting beautifully. And this here is the au jus, that the reduction of the red wine and the beef stock.
yes.
And that's just sort of chilling out doing its
That's
thing.
just hanging out with the steak.
Okay, great. So, one thing that this steak's going to get is we are going to make some prosciutto chips. Would that be a
you
fair?
can say, yeah, crispy prosciutto chips, yeah.
Okay, and
Either
we're
way, it's going to be crispy.
And we're just going to put this onto like a little sheet pan here
Yep.
and put it into what degree oven?
350 degrees, and in 5 to 7 minutes, you just want to keep an eye on it. Check on it at 5, probably no longer than 7.
And this is going to get kind of crispy, almost like bacon.
Exactly, yeah. Well,
And-
it is pork, so.
And that's going to be our garnish for a fillet.
Yes.
Boy, I mean, it's like at what point here do we actually think this might be gilding the lily? I don't think so. I'm just joking. This ain't gilding the lily for me. All right, in it goes. In it goes. All right, so while this is doing its thing, you are going to finish up the orzo.
Yeah.
And
so
you needed an onion from me,
you can
too.
dice an onion for me.
Correct. And how small of a dice would you like on that?
You can do medium size.
Okay.
I think for this, too, a half an onion is perfect.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's orzo. It's not an onion dish, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
We don't want to take away from the sauce and the orzo.
Right. All right. And
Beautiful knife skills.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
and I got my pan going.
That's actually a really nice compliment coming from you. I appreciate that. All right, so there you are.
So I'm gonna put a little oil in the pan.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to a bowl so
Okay.
that you can. There we go.
And I'm just putting a little bit of oil in the pan because, you know, a lot of people make the mistake of putting too much oil. You're not frying anything.
Right.
You're sauteing. You only need just a little bit of oil.
Just for contact and for so that it doesn't, you know, stick.
Absolutely.
And you're good. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and grab a wooden spoon, too. Anytime you're dealing with any form of grain, rice, pasta, you want to stay away from metal. You want to use wood.
Because it's going to, like, just mash it up.
Yes, yes.
And you know what else? Like use a light hand.
Exactly.
You know, there's a way to do it. It's like you can go lightly underneath as opposed to, like, seeing this action,
Absolutely.
right?
You know what's really funny? You say that about chefs. We have this repetition of being aggressive and loud and
actually,
just... But we're very gentle.
Right.
If you watch a chef cook, he's very gentle. He plates, everything is just so delicate and just...
Gentle and clean.
Yes.
And when you see that, you know you're in the company
Yes.
of a good chef. Right.
So I have my onions going. Again, low heat. Anytime, like I said earlier, garlic, shallots, onions. You don't want to burn them. Low heat. It's better to be safe and use low heat. And I like personally low heat just for the smell. I mean, can you smell them from over there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just going to add a little bit more garlic too.
Okay. Once again, building our flavors,
Yes.
using all these like wonderful aromatics.
And again, anything you cook, everything deserves its own seasoning. It's not fair to say because we season the orzo or the sauce that the onions don't get salt and pepper. So everybody gets their own seasoning.
Because when you leave that out, that's where things fall flat.
Yes.
That's where it's going to fall flat. I mean, understand that onion has water content.
Exactly.
So
You can see it coming out now too. You say that, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're not going to add seasoning to that, that's what's going to drag your dish down.
Absolutely. So
And
these
people
are
think they're making
caramelized.
it salty, and they're really not.
No, no.
Especially if you're using a good coarse grained salt like kosher.
Yes.
Is that kosher right there?
Yes, that is kosher.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so the onions are looking beautiful, nice caramelized. I'm gonna go ahead and add some orzo.
And orzo is just a very small pasta.
Yes.
And you pre-cook that, and it's
Yeah, and if you're cooking it at home, boiling salt water, splash of olive oil, takes 5 to 7 minutes.
Right.
You want it to be al dente. You want it to be firm. The reason why you don't want it to be soft, I don't want to cook it in here and it gets mushy.
it's going to cook again.
Yes.
It's going to cook. Yeah, nothing worse than mushy pasta.
Because I want to make sure you're nice and full, I'm going to give you about 2 cups. Give you about 2 cups. You know, if you're at home.
I'm going to run home.
If you're hosting more, feel free to use the whole bowl, but
Okay.
I think that's plenty for us.
Yeah, I think we're good. Ah, it's nice. And then it's also picking up some of the color from those onions.
Yes.
I got it. I got you here.
Now, I got that going. Now, this is just bringing it all together. So
Okay.
our Bearnaise sauce is looking beautiful. It's just smells heavenly. I'm just so excited to do this.
Me too.
I'm just going to put some little bit of Bearnaise in here.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Okay.
And did you kill the heat on that now?
I still have it on low.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see it's nice and creamy.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
That's brilliant. I'm totally stealing this. I'm totally stealing it.
You know, that's what being a chef's about is. It's about figuring out how to be different. And
Taking a peek here.
yeah.
We're good. We haven't crisped up yet, so we're good.
You know, just being simple, but executing. Execution is key. So, this almost has a risotto texture since we brought up the risotto
Right.
sauce, so that kind of just fall down, you kind of see. So now we're going to go ahead and finish it with some shaved Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Is that okay to hang out in that pan there, or do we need to put it into a bowl?
Oh, we're going to go ahead and transfer this into a bowl.
Okay.
Obviously, carryover cooking is not a friend of ours.
I was just thinking, let me get some of these onions out of this dish. We can use this bowl right here.
So, we have it here, nice and creamy.
There you are, sir.
You smell that?
Oh, man, it's really giving off that tarragon, too. So cool. I am absolutely stealing this.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right.
Lovely. And that will now wait. And we're down now to making basically and you finished it with the parm already.
Yes, finish
Okay.
it with the Parmesan. So we're done with the Parmesan
So
cheese.
now it's just about finishing up with our vegetables here.
Yeah, so that's what's next. So let me just go over the vegetables we have. We have 3 different root vegetables right here. I'm a big farmer's market fan. So as you can see, I have some arugula blossoms.
And all of this came from Torrance Farmers Market.
Yes, I was
right?
just there with my wife Saturday.
Beautiful.
We live in Torrance. I was born and raised in Gardena, but I
Okay.
spent the majority of my life in Torrance. I met my wife in Torrance in high school. So we are big on supporting locals, and that's
Love it.
just the goal of a chef, always supporting the locals.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with the grocery stores, but you know, if you can go to the farmer's market, why not?
Right.
Why not? So what we have here are some yellow beets, very, very sweet, very, very delicious. We had some red beets, also sweet, not as sweet as the yellow ones. And we have some young carrots, petite carrots, okay?
Beautiful.
So
petite.
at home, they're very time consuming. They do take a while. I recommend starting that before you start any of this. So the best way to do it is to just take some beets, rub it with some oil, salt and pepper on the outside, wrap it in foil on a sheet tray. You're going to put them in the oven. They can go for about an hour, hour and a half. Best way to check them, take a knife or a fork or a toothpick. Once it pokes all the way through, they're good to go.
Gotcha.
Grab a towel, peel the skin off, cool them off, chop them. Perfect.
And you know, actually, I'll go take one step further. Why not do this kind of stuff in big batches? Because what can this not go on? You know, if you're not going to use it for what we're going to do today, that's beautiful on a salad,
Exactly,
right?
yes.
And you can make so many different side vegetables or side dishes
Yes.
with this combination. So it's something to do maybe in bigger batches, and then
I
you
agree
kind of hold it.
100%. Well,
Cool.
and juice is
Beet
very popular
salad.
nowadays.
Little
Beet juice.
Oil and vinegar with a little honey and some goat
Exactly.
cheese on top.
Some almonds. Oh, okay. And then our carrots. These carrots are just a simple blanch. What you want to do is you want to peel the skin off.
Okay.
Boiling salt water. You're going to drop the carrots in there for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and then you're going to pull them out and shock them. And what shock means is that you're essentially creating that bright orange color by going from boiling hot water to freezing cold water, and it creates that beautiful
And
orange.
stops the cooking.
Yes, instantly stops the cooking, or it creates that bright green and vegetable. So
No one wants a mushy carrot.
no, but here's the trick though: never go from delicious salted blanching water to bland ice water. Always season both. Yes, that is key. So
See, you got this covered. You got
Thank
this
you.
covered. So
Thank
what do
you.
we do to make to finish these?
okay, so this is quite simple. This is probably the easiest thing to do for today.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and grab our pan right here. Just gonna put a little bit of oil in here. Now we're gonna char these carrots, okay? And what that means, we want to get the pan so hot that you almost get a little scared. It's like, whoa, is that too hot? With the beets too, we're gonna go ahead and also put a little oil in this pot for the beets.
Okay, because you're going to do them separately because you don't want the. Is there a reason? Like, is it the beets? You don't want the red to bleed, or?
You don't want the red to bleed into the orange.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna go ahead and do them together. But normally, yeah, if you're concerned with the bleeding, I'm not. I kind of like the mixture of the colors. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it's
okay.
Cool.
I'm fine with it.
So, all right. So like I said, when you're charring any vegetable, you get the pot really, really hot. And if you're not sure what really, really hot is when you're like, whoa, that's not right. I'm scared.
Right.
That's hot.
Okay.
And you're going to get that nice char, that black. It's a beautiful color on the vegetables.
Right.
And I got my pot going for my beets. So now we got the beets going. Okay, so it's smoking pretty good.
You could probably use like cast iron for this too.
Yeah, you can. That's a lot
really
easier.
nice.
Yes, that's a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some carrots in here. Yeah, it's going.
I'm gonna check on your prosciutto again.
Okay.
See how we're doing.
While you're doing that, I'm just seasoning them with a little salt and pepper.
It's looking good. It's getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a Cajun chef tell me one time, you know, with the blackening technique, the cast iron, like, when do you know that pan's hot enough? He says, when it gets gray ash.
Yep, that is very true.
Whoa, you're getting that hot.
That is very true.
Yeah, look at that. Delicious and simple. You know, I mean, I think with vegetables like these that are so delicate, you really don't want to do a lot to them.
You don't want to do a lot, and I think that's where people get lost in today's cooking world, is doing too much with certain ingredients.
And
you
you've
know?
got a rich steak, and you've got your orzo. I mean, you've got the richness is there. Now it's time for a little clean,
Yes,
a little bright,
yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes.
herby.
All right, so these again, I don't know if you can see, they have that nice little char.
Yeah, you got some nice color on
Yeah.
those.
Okay, so now we're gonna get the beets going. Do a little bit of red, a little bit of orange, yellow.
Okay.
And these, we're just doing beets for the mouthfeel. And what that means is we're going to finish it with butter. And anytime you finish anything with butter, it gives you that creamy mouthfeel of just, it's just beautiful. So,
And then a little bit of salt and pepper.
Yep. Everybody gets their own salt and pepper. So the carrots are looking good. They're already done. Again, they're cooked when they're blanched.
Right.
We're just charring them up. So
Look at that.
Nice
Let me
and
see
charred.
if I can find something right behind you here. I think we can throw it right in this. That way, if you don't want to cook them too far, we can
Perfect,
kind
yeah.
of just put them right in there.
Yeah, we want them to be firm. They are a root vegetable. And so our beets are already done, actually.
Great. Well, I tell you what, I think it's a good time to take a break. We'll
Okay.
get cleaned up, and when we come back, we're going to have a plated dish, and you know what? I get to eat.
Yes, I want you to. I'm excited.
Awesome, me too.
All right.
All right, don't go away. We will be right back.
Let's hear it for hands. A collection of nimble digits. They're as adept at turning things off as they are at switching them on. Especially if we face energy shortages and state officials call a flex alert. If that happens, we all know it's time to turn off unneeded lights, adjust the AC to 78 or higher, and don't use appliances until after 6 p.m. So here's to hands. They have the power we'll need.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. I'm here with Chef Chris Brown, and we've come to my favorite part of the show.
Yes, the part I was looking forward to, too.
Look what I have. That is awesome. I mean, what an artfully presented plate of food, and it just looks so hearty and delicious. And if you all want to bite, you're gonna have to head down to Hay 19 because it's on the menu. Right now, I'm gonna dig into this, if you don't mind.
No, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with some of your orzo. That's great. It's so creamy.
So creamy, right?
And I can't wait to like get bites of this together. I'm sort of separating it now.
I think the beautiful part about this dish is that each bite is different. You might get a beet, you might get a carrot, you might get some prosciutto,
Right.
you might get a piece of filet.
There's a mix and
It's-
match
yeah,
quality to this that I really love.
You're not
And
bored.
That beet was perfectly cooked and delicious, and I should say you finished that with a little bit of butter.
Yes,
correct?
finish it with a little butter, yes.
Great. Okay, time for our steak, which is a beautiful medium rare, and it has that au jus on top. Oh my god! I have the best job in the world, man.
You do.
I really do. That is so good. And if that wasn't enough, if I was getting bored, I could pick this up, and as you see, it's like bacon. It's like a chip.
Oh, you hear that? Wow. Let's maybe spoon some orzo on there, huh?
Oh, all right, all right. Yeah, that's a good call with some of these microgreens.
Oh.
Oh, man. Forget about it. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here. I'm glad you had me.
Impressive and awesome. Please tell me you're going to come back and do this again.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you
All right,
so
and
much.
this just goes to show you that we are really cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Awesome.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.